Yeah, my name's Bob Flores. I work for a company called Applicology. It's my own consulting firm that I started after I left government service.
And what brings you to OODAcon today?
I'm a longtime OODA member and have worked with Bob Gourley even when we were both in government. And he and I have collaborated over the years, and he continues to do so. And so if you dig deep enough on the OODA website, you'll see that I don't know what they call me nowadays, a senior or something. So anyway, I'm a longtime friend of the OODA family. So.
Got it. So based on your extensive background with OODA, what are some of the benefits and the value of being part of the organization?
There are two main things that I really get out of OODA. One is that there's a huge diversity of people, and I mean that in every sense of the word, especially diversity of thought and diversity of career that are OODA members. And so it's great being able to reach out to these people, and you dig into something that you've never dug into before, you can almost always find somebody in OODA that's there. They may not be the expert, but they've got a lot of experience at it, and so you can get some really good advice. And so I said there were two, right? So that's number one, and then number two is I really enjoy working with both Matt and Bob Gourley. They think differently than most people, and I find that refreshing. Primarily because they focus on the future. It's not about OODA, and OODA itself, it's not about, and OODAcon is not about, oh, what do we got to do today to make things better? That's not what they focus on at all. It's all about what's happening in the future and how do we deal with that in the future. So.
What do you see as being the most pressing for the future and how to deal with it?
Well, it's hard to come up with the most, because I think there are many important aspects about the future that we need to be concerned about. One, of course, is the bad guys in the technology world keep getting in front of the good guys in the technology world, and it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But so one of the things we have to do is to teach ourselves and our followers how to deal with this and how to keep up the pace, which I think is a really important thing. You can't get complacent. And so that's one thing. The other is just the general overall threat that certain countries represent to the United States. And we all know which ones they are. And so that's another place where we can't be complacent. We always have to be on our toes worrying about these things. So.
How do you see, you said that you launched your consultancy. How do you see the work you're doing contributing to that future, more secure, innovation, sustainability, and that kind of security that you're talking about?
Yeah, so a lot of the work I do is with startup technology companies who don't necessarily have on staff people that really understand security. And so I help them understand it. I help them, they don't have to be the world's greatest security experts. I'm certainly not, but you get them to think differently about the security issues. And I don't just mean cybersecurity. I mean every aspect of security that's there. So I consider myself successful when the CEO of a company becomes security aware and always treats security in every decision that they make. And so that's an awful lot of what I do. And I get into the bits and bytes with some of the companies I'm on contract as their actual chief information security officer, but for most of them, I'm not. I'm an advisor, but that's my advising to them is how do you do what you're trying to do? You're trying to grow. How do you do it and keep this thing secure? And secure means different things to different people and to different products. So it could be just, how do you protect your intellectual property? And what are you doing to do that? What are you doing in case of a ransomware attack? How are you going to recover from that? So those are the things I do.